Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here with Bayern Munich. We are back today with more big games in the Bundesliga to come, where of course ourselves and Borussia Dortmund just separated by a single point at the top of the table, although they have played before us in match day 20, so currently have leapfrogged us to go to the top of the table. Of course, we're out of the DFB Pokal, so we've only got the Bundesliga and the Champions League to focus on. In the last episode we wrapped up the league phase and managed to qualify in the top 8, so we're waiting for the playoff round to be played, and we should close out today's episode by finding out our opponents for the last 16 once the playoffs have of course been played. So yeah, loads to crack on with. Big games in the Bundesliga, kicking off with Wolfsburg, who we beat in the reverse fixture by 4-0, taking them on at the Allianz, looking for another 3 points to take ourselves back to the summit. Auf geht's, die Rotten. Yeah, as we kick off in our first game of today's episode, it's a bit of a strange one because we're sort of in limbo. It's between the Champions League league phase ending and the first round of the knockouts. Well, I guess technically it's not the first round of the knockouts because you've got the playoffs, but of course finishing in the top 8, we miss the playoff round and head straight into the last 16. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange little gap between the Champions League, but with it being so tight in the Bundesliga, we've still got so much to play for. Every game is a big one, so all of the fixtures coming today are important as we look to stay top of the Bundesliga as Sasha Boe flashes one wide of the far upright. Corner though for Wolfsburg. Havertz to float it in. Ronnie claims and will look to get us forward quickly with Jamal Musiala. Now Sasha forward to Dusan and through to Musiala. Come with me, Sem Bakker, because it's going to you, my lad. And we've just about got there, nearly buggered it up, but Sem Bakker does give us the lead. Strange goal on the break, Wolfsburg just leaving everybody forward, and Sem Bakker gives us the lead with goal number 20 in the Bundesliga on match day 20, averaging a goal every game in the league. Yeah, in the previous episode I asked you guys to comment with the number of goals that Sem Bakker ended up scoring because he was in such fine form in today's episode. I'm going to ask you a similar thing, but let me know how many goals you think he will get in today's episode. He's already off the mark with 1, so we know it's going to be more than that, but let me know, drop a comment with how many goals you think Sem Bakker will end up scoring in today's video. Wolfsburg looking for an equalising goal here. Only leading by 1. That's a great ball in behind, and that is a big save by Ronnie Schumacher. Wolfsburg just got their tails up a little bit. Havertz with the Trivela, and again Ronnie has to get across. A little bit more comfortable for him, that one, but still a good save nonetheless. And Wolfsburg just finding their feet in this game. An hour played and only leading by 1 here. You know I hate that scoreline if you've been watching the channel for a while. Need that second goal just to give us a bit of breathing room. Tillman, first few touches for him. And now Jung finds Lopez, and Lopez flicks around the corner for Tillman. And there is Sem Bakker for 2. I can't believe he's missed it. Well, thankfully that miss isn't going to matter, as we do see it out by just a single goal to nil. Had to grind it out, but I don't care if we have to do that all the way to the end of the season, as long as we are picking up the 3 points. Dortmund would have been watching and hoping for a Wolfsburg equaliser, but it is Bayern Munich who come away from the Allianz with all 3 points to take us back to the top of the table with just 14 games to play. It is so tight between ourselves and Borussia Dortmund. Well, nice to see Sem Bakker winning the Player of the Month award for, I think it must have been for January, after a brilliant run of form in the previous episode. But speaking of brilliant runs, Borussia Dortmund just carry on winning. Tough game away in Frankfurt, and they see it out with a 2-1 victory to once again jump above us for the time being. We now we host Fortuna Düsseldorf, who we drew with 0-0 in the reverse fixture. Couldn't find a way through them at their place, but heading back home, this has to be a win once again to return us to the top of the table. Auf geht's, die rotten. Yeah, could do with a relatively early goal tonight after that 0-0 draw against Fortuna Düsseldorf. I think it was only a couple of episodes ago, but I've said it a few times, the longer a game goes on at 0-0, the more you start to wonder if the goal is ever going to come. And, you know, we've had a few disappointing results. That 0-0 against Fortuna Düsseldorf, we've drawn 0-0 with Stuttgart, we drew 0-0 with Union Berlin in the Cup, and then obviously lost on penalty. So it is a little bit of a concern of ours that the longer it takes to find the goal, we do start to wonder if it's ever going to come. Well, free kick here on the edge for Düsseldorf, and Losada's over it, and he went keeper's side, and Ronnie had to be aware. Tough one for the goalkeepers, those, because you've got to be brave and trust your wall and stay on your side, because if you take a step to the wall side, it leaves it open for the player to hit on the goalkeeper side, if that makes sense, as Sem Bakker races away, and this surely has to be the goal as Sem Bakker rifles it in. Sorry, my nonsense didn't really make much sense there, but yeah, if the keeper takes a step to one side too early, it can allow players to hit it on the goalkeeper side. The Chelsea game I was recently at, Reece James's late equaliser against Bournemouth is a great example of that. Mark Travers took a step to his right and Reece James hit it on the keeper's side and kind of caught him by surprise. So Ronnie had to be aware. He did his job, and Sem Bakker down the other end does his and gives us the lead. And Mensah on the edge, still yet to score for the club. Mensah lets fly, and Motta is equal to it. It was quite a comfortable one for him. Corner's deep. Sem Bakker nods down for Elise. Now it's Bissek on the edge, and again Motta has to turn it away. We've had the chances, we've just not been able to find that goal thus far. Corner is deep to Bissek, and the big man goes down, not for the first time this season, and stays on the deck as well as we approach half time. Yeah, it's been all one-way pressure. We just need that second goal. This is lovely football. Musiala into Federico Luna, and he's put it wide. And Elise shown the outside, and he takes it. Elise into Sem Bakker, and again Motta is equal to it, man. We just cannot find that goal. Musiala's corner's deep. Bakker heads on for Bissek, and the injured man pokes it in on the goal line. And I'm so bad at corners this year. I've just been trying to hang it to the back post and nod it down, and that's exactly what we've done. Musiala with loads of height on it. Bakker wins the header, and Bissek just pokes it through the legs of the keeper. That's cheeky from the centre-back. And he does finally double our lead. Yeah, now we can make a few changes and not necessarily take our foot off the gas, but just play with a bit more freedom. Here's Malik Tillman. Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. Bakker across the box for Malik. And it's his first goal, and he should have had an assist last time out against Hoffenheim. And now the floodgates could open, because we've been slicing through them all day long. We got our second goal to relieve the pressure, and now we can play with freedom. But that is an absolute gift from Fortuna Düsseldorf. Luna. Look at the space for Malik Tillman. And Malik finds Sem Bakker surely for 4. And it's a goal and an assist off the bench for Tillman. Should have had one in the previous game. He is looking like a brilliant, brilliant signing. Mensah. Towering header. Tillman. Malik into Bester, and Bakker looking for the hat-trick. Sem Bakker. It's 5. And it's another Bundesliga hat-trick for Sem Bakker. The Bakker counter is up to 4 for the episode, and it is another match ball for the Dutchman. He is just on flames. Yeah, a fantastic performance and a fantastic result for Bayern as well. Exactly what we needed to put ourselves back to the top. of the table. Fortuna Düsseldorf just could not cope with us, and from minute one we were absolutely on them. Took us a little while to get the goals, but in the end 5 for Bayern, 3 of those coming for the hat-trick hero Sem Bakker, and once again a return to the summit for Bayern. Now, as we get back to the menus, if I'm not mistaken, I think the first legs of the Champions League playoff rounds will be played during this midweek, I think. So we'll just quickly sim through and keep an eye out on whether they have been played yet, if I can navigate the menus. Let's have a look. Champions League. And yes, they have been played. So you can see the results there. There are some cracking ties in here. Leverkusen, Napoli, Juve, Frankfurt level at 3 apiece. Ajax beating Leipzig, Inter Milan beating Monaco, and Spurs beating Club Brugge. So the second leg should be the week after. So as we crack on with this game here against Werder Bremen away from home, Dortmund actually playing at the same time as us today as they travel to Stuttgart. So we'll try and keep an eye on the scoreline at the Mercedes-Benz Arena as we look to fend off Borussia Dortmund. Auf geht's, Die Rotten. Yeah, underway in the snow here at the Weserstadion. We've been in fantastic form recently, not just today, but at the end of the previous episode as well. So I'm hoping that will continue. But the conditions are going to be tricky. Last time we played in the snow was the 0-0 draw against Stuttgart that I mentioned earlier on in today's episode. So I am expecting a really tricky test here as Werder Bremen come forward early on and force Ronnie into the save. Elise down the right trying to catch Werder Bremen a bit cold from the corner, and Musiala to Sem Bakker is brilliant, and this man just cannot stop scoring. Sem Bakker does it again in the Bundesliga, and Bayern Munich lead. Oh, what a brilliant turn. And the strike comes in early, and Ronnie has to turn it away. That came out of nowhere there, just a ball into the centre forward. And there was a lovely little swivel as a header goes on at the near post. Still alive, but that's short as Fonzie picks up the loose ball. Now Jamal. And Federico, and I've seen the keeper off his line. Federico, oh, Svilar got back. That was cheeky from Federico Luna. I probably could have gone on and just found a route forward, but I've been trying for that halfway line goal for so long. You know I had to try it when I spotted Svilar off his line. Oh, what a giveaway. Oh, what a giveaway, and Musiala misses. What a chance, and Jamal couldn't find the back of the net. Underway in the second half at the Weserstadion, and it's been quite an open game. Most of Werder's chances have come from range, and Ronnie's been pretty comfortable with them, but again, not been able to kill the game off thus far, as you know I love to do with a second goal. We've had a couple of chances to do so, but so far not been able to. That's brilliant from Jamal Musiala, and that will kill the game off. I don't think Werder will get back into it from here. Musiala doubles the lead in the snow with a brilliant little piece of skill, and Bayern Munich staying at top of the Bundesliga. Ooh, Dusan's late there. Bit of a naughty tackle that, and the home crowd are not too happy with it. What colour's the card? It's red. Dusan's sent off. Not the first time we've seen red this season. And I said as soon as I saw the challenge it was a bit late. I thought I could come around the side and get there, but it's pretty high. It's late and Dusan is off. Well, thankfully the red card didn't have too much of an impact on the game, and we were able to see it out pretty comfortably. Of course, Dusan will miss our next game, and with Pavlovic down as well, it's not a great sign for us. We've got loads of midfield depth, so it's not too much of an issue just for one game. But another good win in the Bundesliga. Sem Bakker with another goal. I believe that is 5 for the episode so far. He is absolutely flying, and Bayern Munich are staying top of the Bundesliga. Well, as we get back to the menus, I think Dortmund were actually the late kickoff, and they've won as they stay a point behind us, beating Hamburg by 2-0. Still unbeaten with just 12 games left to play in the Bundesliga, but they must be so frustrated at the fact that they cannot get ahead of us. They play... oh, I got my games mixed up. I'm sorry, guys. They were at home to Hamburg. It's actually the next round of fixtures where they are away at the Mercedes-Benz Arena as we face Heidenheim at home at the Allianz. So let's just dive straight into that game. Again, I'll try and bring you any goal updates from the Mercedes-Benz Arena, where we will be hoping that Stuttgart can do us a favour. Auf geht's, die rotten. I completely forgot as we're heading into this game that those second legs of the Champions League should have been played. So obviously we don't get the draw because it's a little bit bugged anyway, and it takes a while to come through. So I've not seen who we've faced or who we will face in the last 16, but we should find out after the game, as the playoff round will have all been played. So after this one, when we get back to the menus, we will find out our opponents for the last 16. Merlin forward to Federico. We've not quite been as free-flowing in our attacks today. Here is Luna looking to create half a yard into the middle for Bakker. What a save by Schultz. And Heidenheim clear. That'll drop nicely for Luna on the edge, and he sends it over the top. We've not had too many clear-cut openings, but that was a half-decent one for Sem Bakker. But Schultz did well to deny him. Merlin into Jamal, and now Merlin again, and Merlin, and it's Michael Elise, and man, I just cannot find that breakthrough at the moment. Really great goalkeeping again. Elise swings the ball in deep. Musiala heads into the middle for Inacio. It's loose, and Sem Bakker on the spin, and I'm starting to get a bit more joy from those corners as Inacio tried to scramble it over the goal line, but we head into the break deadlocked at 0-0 as we're still searching for that breakthrough. Still searching for that opening goal here. Nice football. Fonzie lifts it for Federico. It'll come back for Fonzie. Now Bakker to Musiala, and Schultz equal to it again. All given away. Bakker, surely it's Musiala on the slide. And of all the chances that we've had, and we've been waiting for a goal, and it's an absolute gift from Heidenheim. Elise got a little nick on the ball. It falls kindly to Sem Bakker, who turns, races away from the defenders and squares it across for Jamal, who's free as a bird to give us the lead. Well, that goal may just mean that Heidenheim have to come out and try and play a little bit more, and it may leave some gaps at the back. I've made some changes just to freshen things up, and here are a few of the subs linking up, and Lopez does well to hold on to it. Tillman! Oh my goodness, that was close. He looks a real player, you know, man, and I feel a lot more confident bringing him on than I did Uzun. That is inches away from the substitute. Tillman again, looking dangerous. Through the gap to Sem Bakker. Now Tillman back to Sem Bakker. And that'll do it. Sem Bakker with another goal. I think he scored in every game in today's episode. It's another assist for Malik Tillman. That's his third goal contribution in, I think, just 3 substitute appearances. He's looking a real handful. And Sem Bakker with another goal. I'm not sure he's quite going to get to 40, but at the rate he's going, he might not be far off it. Oh, wow. Well, look at that goal update in the top right. Dortmund were 2-1 down, and they've just equalised to make it 2-2 with 5 to play at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. That will be a fantastic result for us if Stuttgart can hold on and take a point off our fellow title rivals. And as we look to add a third, that will really rub salt in the wounds. Bakker, Tillman, Luna, Lopez, Weston, Luna, Tillman, Lopez. What a brilliant move, and what a brilliant third goal for Bayern Munich. And that will rub salt in the wounds as Dortmund look as if they might be held to a point, and we could be extending our gap at the top of the Bundesliga. What a brilliant goal as well from Bayern Munich. That is class football. Well, a couple of things to check on as we get back to the menu, as Stuttgart did hold Dortmund to the 2-2 draw. So the gap extends from 1 to 3 at the top of the Bundesliga. Dortmund still yet to lose, but those draws starting to extend the gap. And let's find out who it is we'll face in the Champions League last 16, when we've been drawn against... Oh, that's a big one. Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's return to the Allianz in the second leg, as we will travel to Manchester for the first. Oh my goodness, that is a big tie. Returning to England as well. Manchester City in the Champions League. Atletico will face Arsenal. Ajax against Barcelona, Juve Dortmund, Napoli PSG, Inter against Villarreal, Spurs take on Milan, of course Man City against Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid against Brighton and Hove Albion. What a cracking round of 16 lineup we've got. Well guys, it might be a slightly shorter episode, but I think I might end with this one here as Bayern Munich take on Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga, as first take on second at the Signal Iduna Park. Of course, Dortmund yet to lose in the Bundesliga, and it's ourselves and Dortmund who have completely run away with things at the top. But with this being such a huge game, the gap currently at 3, with 10 to play after this fixture, we could potentially see the gap extended to 6. It could potentially remain at 3, or we could see it cut to just goal difference depending on the result here. Of course, we lost to Dortmund early on in the season at the Allianz, but now taking them on at the Signal Iduna Park, a huge game, which is going to have a huge significance in the title race. Auf geht's, die Rotten. So underway here in Dortmund, and a massive game. As I say, we lost at the Allianz, but it was with that early red card for Matteo Maier. It's a really difficult game to call because we have been absolutely flying in the Bundesliga, but so have Dortmund. I know they slipped up last time out against Stuttgart, but they've still not lost in the Bundesliga, been on such a good run, so such a difficult game to call. I've upped the half length as well to 5 minutes, which I never really play on, but to hopefully get a really cracking game to end off today's episode, I've upped the half length to 5. That's a nice ball forward into Baal, who scored 2 at the Allianz, and he could be in here. Baal with the ding. Ronnie's not getting there, and Dortmund lead inside 10 minutes, and I just cannot stop this guy from scoring against me. And Baal does it again, his 3rd goal of the season against me, and Dortmund lead at the Signal Iduna Park inside the opening 10 minutes. I cannot believe that, man. He always scores against me. Of course, the only good thing about conceding so early is there's loads of time left to play, and Bail's 15th goal of the season in 23 appearances, and of course our main man Sem Bakker I think has 26 now, but denied there. Oh, Musiala gets a little bit lucky, but we'll take that. Musiala through the gap for Elise. That might just work out. Luna! It's 1 apiece. And that's brilliant anticipation by Michael Elise on the slide to make the challenge. And the defender takes a huge risk. Luna runs onto it and has the finish past Gregor Kobel to bring the sides level. But what on earth was the defender doing there? Just clear your lines. But we will take that all day long in front of the yellow wall to level it up at the Signal Iduna Park. Said now for Dortmund. Bonzi does well and lifts it for Federico. Oh, Luna gets there again. Terrible defending by Dortmund. And Luna's in. Can he finish this time? Federico! What on earth are Dortmund doing at the back? 2 gifts for the Spaniard. And he's been in fantastic form in the last few months. And a quick fire double from him stuns the Signal Iduna Park into silence. Pinho down the left. Looks to get his side forward. Now it's Ogruche. Lovely ball through. And Fal in again. And this time Ronnie saves. Oh, and the rebound hits straight at Ronnie. And Sasha will clear away. This has been end-to-end stuff here. Well, a yellow card for Elise and a free kick for Dortmund. And we've switched off a bit there. Fal into Saeed. Mensah has to be careful. Does well initially. Saeed to Mats Vifa on the edge. Vifa does well. And it's still alive as Ronnie pushes that away. Araujo with men in support. Look to find Fal. Fonzie can't clear. And now Ogruche dispossessed. Oh, Musiala. Oh my goodness. I thought it was heading over the top, but he nearly caught out Gregor Kobel. Bakker can't win the header. It'll drop for Musiala, and now Bakker. And that's more comfortable for Gregor Kobel. What a cracking first half of football. That's going to be about 10 minutes worth of highlights alone. A crazy game here. And we head into the break leading by 2-1 despite the fact we trailed. And I'm expecting more in the second 45. What a half. Well, 15 minutes played in this second half, and it's not been quite as frantic, but there's been quite a lot of turnovers, and it has been end-to-end. Definitely more goals to come today. Ogruche with an effort from way too far out, and Ronnie claims, but I definitely think there is more goals to come today. Elise into Mensah. To think it for Sasha Boe, and now dispossessed. Now it's Jeremy Pinho. Ogruche from range. Ronnie turns it away. It was pretty comfortable for him, but he still had to get something on it. Substitution for Dortmund as Nemecha enters the field. Jeremy Pinho swings the ball in. Boe gets something on it. It's loose. It's still loose, and Inacio sends it into touch. Now Fal into Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez through the gap. Oh, what a tackle, Fonzie. What a brilliant piece of defending by the vice-captain. And now we come the other way with Bakker. And looking for Luna. And still we have it. Federico going the long way round. Federico Luna, his shot blocked. And still we have it. Mensah from range, and Kobel has to tip it over. I still think there'll be another goal in this game. I honestly cannot tell you which way it's going to go. Elise's corner, this time deep to Maya. He heads back into the middle. Kobel loses it, and Mensah goes over. And more drama in the penalty area as Dortmund can clear and now look to come forward. Nemecha into Saeed, and Mecha again as we do get bodies back. No. Fal! Oh my goodness. Oh, what a rocket. And by Fal with an absolute rocket. Oh man, I just didn't sort my fingers out quickly enough with Davis. Gave the ball away. What a strike. Ronnie with no chance. Oh man, just dispossessed with Fonzie. It was Fal who won it back, and it's a brilliant strike from range right into the top corner, and he single-handedly dragged his side back into this. Well, maybe one last chance for Bayern. Sorry guys, I'm having a bit of a coughing fit. Rojas. Still Rojas. Rojas! Oh, denied by Kobel. What an ending to the game that would have been. And we will have a late corner. Rojas swings it in deep. Mensah goes up. Lima down to Luna and blocked and cleared. And that is going to do it. What a crazy game at the Signal Iduna Park. Points shared, and the gap will remain at 3, but I'm sure Dortmund will be happy with that. With a late equaliser, it could so easily have been 6 points. They remain unbeaten and within 3 points of us with 10 games to play. This title race is going down to the wire, and I'm putting it out there. That is my favourite game of the entire save so far. What an absolute cracker. And it ends 2 apiece in Dortmund. Well, guys, sorry, I've sort of got my my throat back in order. That was a crazy game. The highlights package on that is going to be immense, and I cannot wait to see how it turns out. But this is how the table looks with 10 to play. Gap remains at 3. Dortmund still unbeaten, of course, but quite a few draws starting to creep into their game. But an absolute cracker at the Signal Iduna Park, and I'm definitely leaving it there for today's episode because I don't think I've got the mental capacity to go into a Champions League last 16 clash against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Apologies, it's been a slightly shorter episode, but we will be back in the next episode for that Champions League last 16 tie. Both fixtures coming in the next one alongside more big games in the Bundesliga as we look to fend off Borussia Dortmund. I'll catch you for that very soon, guys. Take care and peace.